over and you can cook pasta, you can cook meatballs, you can cook sausages, you can fry an egg, real food.
You know, Bunsen burner is, in my mind, it's a can of fuel, and you flip the lid off and
Flip
torch
the lid
it.
off, put the flame to it, it starts to burn, and you can put a can on it. And it, you know, it's, people bring it for camping, when they go camping, right? And it just, but a meal, an MRE, you flip the lid off, and you're eating this disgusting cold food. I understand it's subsistence, right? When you're out in the field, you might not get a Bunsen burner, but when you are in a place, and you're going to be in a place for a long time, and you're going to be feeding your troops. If Italy can figure out how to feed their people hot food, then shame on the U.S. that we couldn't figure out how to do the same thing for our people. That's all.
So, Governor Maura Healey called for all flags to be flown at half-staff. I noticed the one at Saints Memorial was at half-staff. Eileen?
Look at his government buildings.
What?
Government buildings.
Oh, thank you, Cliff, for that. Thank you, John, for that clarification, because he calls me when he's driving around the city of Lowell looking at what's not at half staff, and I almost feel like he wants me to, get on one of those forklifts or something and get up there and pull them down myself.
Cliff, do you do that?
I don't do it all the time. Not every time I find a flag not at half-staff.
So look, I'm going to put Cliff's cell phone number on the screen, and when you see a flag at half-mast, I want you to call Cliff and have him write a letter of congratulations to that entity for putting their flag at half-staff.
I will say that when I pulled up to Northern Essex yesterday to teach, I saw the flag at half-staff, and I said, okay, somebody passed away, and I'm not sure who it was, but now I understand it was for Dick Cheney. Okay.
Yep. So,
Well, this is a Democratic state. I'm surprised they did it for him.
I
He was a Republican.
I'm shocked. I agree with you, John.
He doesn't even count in Massachusetts.
Right. Because the president didn't even ask for it to be flown at half-staff. So
But I think the Rogers School is still at half-staff, but I don't think they ever went up to full mast. I think they left it
Okay.
at half-staff.
all right.
Dick Cheney is important because now that he's dead, the Democrats can say, see how great he was compared to...
No one wanted to go hunting with him.
John, do you want to explain that comment so people understand it?
Well, he went on a hunting expedition when he was vice president, and he shot one of the people who was on the hunting expedition with him. But obviously by mistake, but still he shot him.
Right.
In the face.
Yes.
That means Cliff's getting a flag report.
All right, Eileen, you still there?
Oh, yes. Was there a question? I'm sorry.
No.
I think Cliff was getting a flag report.
Yeah.
Oh, I do not have a direct flag report at this moment, but the conversation yesterday went, do you know who Dick Cheney is, Eileen? And I was like, yes, vice president just passed away this week. Yes. Do you know Maura Healey? I said, yes. Did she pass away too? And he says, no, but she ordered all the flags at half-staff.
Oh. So the next topic on Cliff's, while Cliff is playing with his iPad, he is Zoran Mamdani, won the New York mayoral race. And so I guess this goes to you. And by the way, congratulations on your reelection.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Regina.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. So the question is, Eileen, do we teach civics in school anymore?
it's a huge thing for the 8th grade. They have the civics project that
Okay.
they do every year about issues that are happening. Why do you ask?
Because Cliff's got the topic, do the voters of New York not understand the history of socialism? And I wrote down, do we still teach civics? Because it would be a good civics lesson to actually understand what socialism is. Because Mamdani is, so I gave a little civics lesson in my sociology class yesterday because we were talking about the government. And I said, this was his platform. We're going to have we're going to have, ooh, look at that.
This is what people then called galloping gurney.
Ooh, boy.
And who would know this is galloping? What's
Wow.
what's this? How does this represent a horse?
The way it's going up and down. A lot of horses, when they're running,
I
are
consider that you on your wedding night. That's a wedding. They should call it the wedding night video. Galloping Gertie? Come
Yeah.
on. What a silly name.
what would you call it, John?
A bad bridge.
Look at that. Look at that bridge, though. You would not want to be on it while it was doing that.
Well, cars were driving over it
Oof.
until somebody said, no more. You can see a
Wow.
car on it now.
Wow,
There
look
was
at
only
that.
one on it when it collapsed. And there was nobody in the car, so
Well, why did they not just keep driving? Why would you get out? I just keep driving my car.
Look at that. Hopefully that's not what the bridge across Hampton's going to look like.
This has got 15 million views. It was put up 18 years ago.
That's unbelievable.
An engineering mistake.
Yes, I would say so.
But I'm sure we've corrected it.
I hope that engineer got paid in advance.
Well, it was something that wasn't figured into the engineering plan.
Oof.
Would you ever figure wind into your engineering plan?
Unbelievable.
This guy must have went and got his dog out of the car.
I don't blame him. Look at that.
Now, was there a toll on the bridge that day? And did the toll go up or down because of the extra ride?
Oof. Now, I bet there are people across the country who heard about this and said, let's go out there and drive across that bridge because people are just, that want that kind of a thrill.
Well, it collapsed.
I bet
Regina.
Cliff's one of them.
I am not one of those people.
Here he is with the dog.
Oy vey.
I would have taken the car, buddy.
Yeah, I would have backed up.
The heck
To
with the
get
dog.
get
Leave
the
the
car
dog in
and
the
the
car.
dog at the same time.
Just the car goes a lot faster than you can run.
Right.
Where is that, Cliff?
Tacoma.
Galloping Gertie?
Tacoma, Washington.
Tacoma, Washington. Tacoma, okay. Interesting. Last night there was a people's forum
Here comes the
talking
total
about
collapse.
graduation requirements. Now that the MCAS is not going to be a teacher requirement, Regina,
Yes.
as to what you were asking in terms of civics, and at our table, somebody had mentioned teaching real history so students can connect it to today's times.
Excellent.
And I thought that was really good because usually you get pushback on that. And I was surprised to hear that out of somebody that was on the forum. And also just basic, we want our kids, how do we know our kids are ready to graduate? They're able to basically read, write, and speak clearly.
Right. Absolutely, Eileen. Absolutely.
Do you think this was the invention of Evel Knievel?
No.
Oof. Wow.
But Eileen, the voters of Massachusetts said we don't want a test for graduation, didn't they?
We don't want MCAS.
Right. No, so basically the forum last night was about what do we do now to hold our students accountable to graduate? How do they prove that they're ready to graduate? And what are some of our ideas overall? Which was really a good conversation. I believe there were 3 questions. What do we want to see our students be able to do when they graduate? The second one was how do our students show us they're ready to graduate? And the third one was in terms of what can schools do to help students to meet these requirements, even like reading, writing, and speaking. How do we do that? How do kids today, how are they able to filter out things that they may be going through in their home and prioritize school? And how do they know not to put home life before school life? Because, in our table, there were lots of people that went through things in their home life, and they had no choice but to focus on school because that was their parents' priority for them. Today, it's different, where parents kind of required their student maybe to even stay home and watch the kids, So how does a student today, and how does school and the community help a student to figure out what's important, even though the parent may not think so?
And that does happen a lot because some parents need to work. Maybe grandma is living at home. Grandma can't be left alone. So now it's left to an older teenager to stay home and take care of grandma or grandpa.
Yep.
And that does happen a lot. We had a conversation in my class last week about different cultures think differently about older folks. Older folks do live at home with families, and families take care of older folks, whereas some families, different cultural expectation, older folks go into nursing homes or assisted living. So, in families where older members of the family live at home, everybody's expected to help out. And mom and dad may expect teenagers to stay home because that's the cultural understanding. And so that means if you're staying home, you're not going to high school. That's the issue. You're not going to high school.
Right. And you're not prioritizing correctly
absolutely.
For your own life. You're not living for yourself. You're living for what your family wants, or what your mother needs you to do.
And parents don't get that. No, your child has to go to high school. A, it's the law, but B, it's for your child's own fulfillment. Your child needs to get an education. So your child has to go to, and so you just said something interesting, Eileen. What do families need so that children can go to school? And that's a complicated answer. That's a very complicated answer.
Yes, one of the questions about the schools, what can schools do? And somebody had mentioned more diverse teaching staff with a high level of cultural competency, so they understand the various levels of competency, like cultural awareness and how families think and where that student could be coming from.
That's wonderful, but it still doesn't take care of who's going to take care of grandma. Because that's a societal issue. Who's going to take care of grandma? You can have a teacher in the classroom who understands the problem, but you still have a societal problem of who is going to go to that house every day and take care of grandma so that teenager can go to high school.
Right,
That's the
and
problem.
I think we all kind of felt like, yes, we'd like to see all of this, but again, like you just said, it's more of a societal problem, and how do we ever get there now that the waters have been so muddied over time?
Right, I don't know the answer.
Yeah,
Cliff?
but culture is the issue.
Yes, absolutely, culture's the issue.
And that,
Absolutely.
and when you look at the performance of students in Lowell Public School based upon their socioeconomic grouping, Asians, blacks, Caucasians, Hispanics, the Asians do the best.
And again, it's a cultural issue, absolutely.
Yes.
So when
Right.
Southeast Asian children were coming to the United States and coming to the Lowell Public Schools, parents were sending their children to school with the understanding they're yours. They're not ours anymore. We want out, because these were parents who had just come from Southeast Asia. They had survived Pol Pot, survived the camps, and survived slogging through villages and eating bugs and twigs and leaves. And now they wanted their children to have an education. So let me just read some text messages. Good morning. Kinda like don't go get your hair done during the pandemic, and then the nanny Pelosi was at the salon. Oh yes, thank you, Jay. Absolutely. Absolutely. She tells everybody everything's got to close down, and she's the only one at the salon getting her hair done. Absolutely. Even the horrible media never mention the flags for the Cheney dude. You're right. Thank you. You're right. John, that's a bridge too far. And was that bridge over budget and not on time? Very, very well done. Thank you, Texter. Mike Bennett, haha, I love it. And the next one. Kids nowadays have more stuff than all of us ever had at their age. The difference is we had parents who held us accountable. My dad was not my friend. Jay, I'm going to tell you something else. My dad and my mom were not my friend either. And I had no concept that they ever should be. I had the concept of my parents were going to kill me if A, I didn't listen to them, and B, I didn't bring home at least a decent passing grade, and C, I didn't go to college. There was no concept in my house that my parents were my friends. And they never said to me, we're going to be your friends. No, not in my house. But so point well taken. Next texter. Maybe if we kept our money for its own citizens and not for people who don't belong here, then Grandma would have help. Then that's a state house problem. Jay, I can't disagree with you.
Beautiful sunrise coming up.
Lovely. Thank you, John. This is beautiful.
I kind of want to disagree with you
Go ahead.
about the immigrant parents from Southeast Asia.
Okay.
I think that maybe they couldn't even speak English.
They couldn't.
Had no idea what was going on, but they made sure their kids did the homework.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
education was prized.
Yes.
So to that extent, they retained that ownership and responsibility.
Yes.
And you can see it also, I think, in black students in Lowell. They've come with, they came to the United States with a serious work ethic, and they have tried to pass that on to their children, and that's why they perform as well as they do. And 2-year-old statistics, it also shows up in terms of tardiness, truancy, dropout rate. Black students do better than Caucasian students, because we've got some Caucasian parents who think that it's all about the government taking care of them and they're not supposed to work.
Right. So I was listening to thank you, Cliff. I was listening to the radio during this whole, and that's one of your topics here, the SNAP benefits issue. So we're not funding SNAP right now. And I was listening to some radio stations were playing the messages that had been left by SNAP recipients. And I'm going to say this, they were quite ugly, and the messages didn't do the SNAP recipients any favors. Now, granted, the radio shows that were playing them were taking the worst of the worst, and some of the recipients were leaving messages like, hey, your job is to go to work and put money onto my SNAP card. So you better be going to work. And if you don't go to work and I don't get money in my SNAP card, I'm going to be going to Walmart and I'm going to beat you up and steal your carriage. And I thought, this is not doing any SNAP recipient any favors. Now, that was the worst of the worst messages, and it was, put together on purpose to sort of make people look bad. But I do understand that we probably need an overhaul of that SNAP program, because it was never supposed to be forever. The SNAP program was a let me get you over the hurdle program. Let me get you to a better place program. It was never supposed to be a forever program.
Granted.
And now it's a generational forever program. And that's unacceptable. That being said, some people are never, ever going to be able to work. They have mental health issues or physical disabilities that are going to prevent them from being able to work.
They have whatever it takes to keep them on aid.
And, pardon me, John?
I'm good.
So I have no problem paying for those people. But able-bodied folks, that's the difference.
The aging culture is grateful that they have an opportunity to better themselves. Other cultures breed welfare for life. I don't understand why you don't have to reapply for benefits every year. Why does it perpetual? Once you're on welfare until you disqualify yourself.
Well said.
You can go get a job and you still walk around with your Mass Health card.
Right.
You got a job, but you're walking around with a Mass Health card.
So, going all the way back to Dick Cheney.
Yes.
Did you see where Nancy Pelosi has announced that she's not going to run again?
It's about time.
Yeah.
It's about time.
Who's older, her or Trump?
She is.
Trump's what, 79, 78? She's 85.
Okay.
So it's about time. And I think that she started realizing when she was forced out as speaker by some younger folks that I think she started to be able to see the writing on the wall, that she was no longer as relevant as she might have wanted to be. And I think she may have realized that she was going to be primaried by someone. And I think there's a guy who is going to primary her, and it's a guy who he never wears a shirt. He is well built, and he doesn't have to wear a shirt. But buddy, come on, put a shirt on, right? And but he Grand Slam Regina, always in fear of getting in trouble with the parents, while simultaneously always getting in trouble. LOL. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. I was afraid of my parents. I was afraid of
You were afraid of
disappointing
getting
them.
caught.
Yes, I was afraid I was going to get caught.
But that's his point. We still were bad, but we're afraid of getting caught.
Yes, but I was also afraid of disappointing them.
That was an excuse to, when you're out with your friends, let's go break some glass. No, my mother will kill me. That was an internal thing I would use to chicken out of stuff.
Yeah, my parents would kill me, and they would have killed me. If anybody out there knew Frank or Reggie, they knew they would have killed me. Absolutely. I was afraid of disappointing them, and I was afraid of being caught. So you're right. So I think I'm glad that Nancy Pelosi is leaving. It opens up the seat for somebody else. Who that somebody else is going to be, I don't know. Now, Nancy Pelosi has also bought a multi-million-dollar home in a nice little enclave in Palm Beach, Florida. So I don't know if her and her husband Paul will be retiring to that place and leaving San Fran. They have a lovely condo in San Francisco, so we'll see what's going to happen.
They don't have a condo they
What?
have a compound.
They have a compound in San Fran. I'm sorry.
They don't have a little condo.
So I minimized their housing, their housing. But, so who knows where she's going to go. But she is finally going to retire. And that snuck out, that information snuck out on Monday. Let's see, John, the moment she ripped up that speech, she should have been thrown out then. I agree. That was unacceptable behavior. She was like a child when she did that, and incredibly disrespectful when President Trump handed her that speech and she ripped it up. Incredibly disrespectful. I don't know where she was coming from. I don't know why she thought that would be the right thing to do.
She didn't make her party look good.
Yeah, I didn't like
The
it.
Democrats continue to just be sore losers.
Yeah, they are sore losers. I didn't like it. You're right, Texter. It was disrespectful. I didn't like it. She should have been thrown out. Cliff?
And she was destroying government property.
Thank you. Thank you. You're right. She was destroying government
Cliff,
property.
a piece of paper is government property. It was given to her.
Government records.
It was an official government record.
Nah,
That's what you say.
nah.
So back to Eileen, and so I gave my students a little civics lesson yesterday in sociology, because we're talking about how sociology relates to the government. So I talked about Ma'am Dammy's promises: free busing, free buses, free.
We have those in Lowell. We have those in Lowell.
Free. We do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the buses are free.
No more paying when you go onto the trolley or the T. There'll
No,
be
no,
government-
I didn't say the railroad tracks. I said the buses.
Buses, okay.
Just
So,
the buses.
no more paying there'll be government-owned grocery stores, there'll be a specific type of minimum wage, and there'll be, lower rent, tax the rich, this, that, and the other thing. And then I sat back and I said to my class, who's going to pay for this? And I have a lot of students, and these are my high school students. I have a couple of students from the golf team in the back, and they're scratch golfers. I have about 4 of them. And one of the kids, he didn't want to say it out loud, but he sits in the back row, and he did this. It was pointing to himself, and I said, yeah, Arnold Palmer. I called Arnold Palmer. Yeah, Arnold Palmer, you're right. You're pointing to yourself. You are going to be paying for it. You are going to be paying for it. And then I have this young man who sits over here, and he said, Professor, how does he expect people are going to be paying for this? I said, I don't know. But why don't you open up your wallet and send it down to him? My high school students understood. How are we going to pay for all of the things that he wants New Yorkers to have? My high school students understood.
You remember John Alley?
I remember John Alley very well.
I talked to him over the weekend.
Okay.
Because he lives almost on the New York border.
Right.
And I asked him if he thought this was going to impact real estate in Connecticut.
What'd he say?
A small 3-bedroom went on the market a week ago. It was on the market for a couple of hours.
Uh-oh.
Sold for the asking price of $870,000.
Good for the sellers.
Can you imagine?
I can imagine.
3 bedrooms,
3?
Connecticut address,
Yes.
a bargain.
And the fire chief in New York has already resigned his position. the Texas,
Well, you know he was not a firefighter.
right, he was an administrator.
So how can you have a non-firefighter be the chief? Never stepped on a ladder in his life. Never handled a hose in his life.
He had a fire science
Never
degree.
carried somebody out of a building in his life. How can he be fire chief?
I don't know. He had a fire science degree, that's all I know.
Cliff, retired Air Force. How many base commanders never flew a plane? Is that common?
The base navigator?
No, the base commander, not
Yeah.
navigator, base commander.
John, use your ears.
Yeah, well, you
The
weren't.
base navigator. The base commander was a navigator.
What is that?
Therefore, he was known as the base navigator. Navigator is someone who,
Never heard that before today. I always heard referred to as the base commander. I didn't
the,
know he was the navigator.
that's someone who went to navigation school, learned how to do celestial navigation and all that kind of stuff. how
Did he
to
ever
drop
fly a plane?
bombs. What?
The question is, did he ever? I don't care if he clipped his toenails. Did he ever fly a plane?
Yeah,
Okay.
as additional crew member, not as a pilot.
He shouldn't have been base commander. Not a pilot, shouldn't be a
No.
base commander.
No. So you go to a base. Who's in charge of the base?
I just found out the base navigator. Never mind that stupid
Yeah.
commander.
But who's the
We're gonna
senior?
go to the navigator.
Who's the senior commander on the base?
Turn the page, Cliff.
The wing
You
commander.
brought me to crush depth.
The wing
I
commander.
wish I never brought
The
it up.
base commander
I'll just shut
is
my
a
mic off over here.
subordinate.
Thanks.
The ability to learn is sometimes. So anyway, Eileen, not letting you off of the hook here. Didn't anyone teach voters any history, like how we went from socialism in Russia to socialism in Italy to socialism in Germany to our own Eugene Debs? Don't people know those stories?
I don't think so, Cliff. So I wanted to say a few things. I have backed up in my head from your conversation. So this week, when you were talking about the demographics of Asian and then blacks and then whites, it seems like it's that way. We were able to meet the student council this week before the school committee meeting, and there were 8 students total. 6 were Asian and 2 were black. And they were so well articulated, though, and they had great thoughts and great ideas, and it was really nice to meet them. But I mean, honestly, like, it's really starting to show the demographics of what the data has shown.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okie doke. Congresswoman Trahan is upset and trying to have it both ways, in my mind. She sent an email, Trump withholding food assistance for 1 million plus Massachusetts residents. I mean, we only have 8 or 9 million, right?
So, here's what I don't get. The governor had $3 billion. She spent it willy-nilly on people, housing, food, lots of that food got wasted. She took care of people's dry cleaning. Medical van that used to come to the hotel, take care of people's medical needs, right? Money upon money upon money wasted. But she can't open her purse to fund SNAP in Massachusetts, and then it would be reimbursed once the feds decide to open the purse at the federal government. Shame on her. Shame on her. Other states, other governors have decided to fund SNAP out of their own pocketbooks, knowing that when this crisis is over, they'll get their money back. Our governor, she's on the blame train, And she is so willing to lay the blame on Trump. Hey, okay, Maura, lay the blame on Trump, but open the pocketbook at the same time. She's so willing to, people are going to starve. Not if you fund SNAP out of your own pocket. You have an $8 billion fund where you could dip your toe, or you could take $4 million out of that, fund SNAP. And she won't. She won't, to prove a point. Shame on her that she's going to let people go hungry to prove a political point. Unacceptable.
But she's also taking advantage of the fact that people that are supporting her and going to all of these rallies and so forth don't know any better that she has that money in her purse strings.
You're right, Eileen.
And that she could help. And so she's making the scene like Trump bad, this is bad, going off on the whole situation, and she has this whole group of people, but the fact that they're not educated well enough to know that the state has the funding and it's the governor that controls it and is not opening their own wallets, and that goes back to teaching accurate history and education. And that's another scary thing, that when we're not teaching accurate history, we get false narratives like what the new mayor of New York is saying can happen. And with everything being free, that's not real. The money has to come somewhere. And accurate history shows that. Nothing is for free. And the other thing I wanted to say is that I'm a big fan of Blue Bloods also, and I can't wait, and they seem to align always with what's happening in current time, so I can't wait to see how they spin this new winning the election and how Tom Selleck will work with the new governor of New York.
Okay. All right.
So Lord Johann, who applauds the fact that the U.S. Senate filibuster is blocking money, wants the President of the United States to go against the will of Congress? I mean, that's the only way I can read that, because they've shut it all down so that they don't have to come out and say the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, doesn't work. It needs to be subsidized, and that's what's happening. And the subsidies run out at the end of the year. But she can't come out and say that.
But a lot of people go away at 7. So I wrote a letter.
To Will Rosenberg.
Yes.
Ask him, what's the story on a recount?
Okay,
So can you read that script that's on the screen?
I can.
Good.
Good morning, John. All the rumors you mention are wrong. Since starting on this job, I am astounded by the amount of misinformation spread throughout this city by your platform and others. I'm in the city hall every day to answer questions, and I check email 24/7. The recount statute is Mass General Law, Chapter 54, Section 135, General Law, Part 1, Title 8, Chapter 54, Section 135. In short, recounts must be requested by a candidate on a petition signed by 10 registered voters in the district who were eligible to vote in the election, and the petition is due by 8 p.m. on the 10th day following the election, November 14th. It's 6 days for a primary or preliminary. There is no such thing as an automatic recount in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. All recounts are by petition in the precinct level in towns, ward level in cities. If the margin is within 0.5% for state office, then it qualifies for a, quote, district-wide, unquote, recount, which changes the signature and slash formula and allows them to be gathered at large from within the district. This is what happened in the Trahan Co. recount in 2018. attached is a guide to recounts from the Secretary of State. I strongly suggest you read it. Regards, what's his first name?
Will.
Will Rosenberg.
Thanks, Will.
Thank you, Will. You know, I've dealt with Will before when I had to call him when he worked for the Secretary of State. When I had to call him about inmates
Regina,
voting.
you gotta go. Time. Sorry.
Okay.
So I made a comment in the first hour.
Don't go there.
But it's a compliment to you
No, okay.
that
It's a past issue. Turn the page.
recidivism is down in Massachusetts.
Because we work hard, Cliff.
Exactly. And that's what the low editorial said. You guys are doing great work.
We work hard. Every day, we work hard.
So, to finish up on SNAP benefits going away, the Democrats won't release the continuing resolution, the Senate Democrats, because the Republicans are not prepared to continue the funding of the extra money for the Affordable Care Act.
And Cliff, let's remind people what the Republicans are saying no to.
It's a party war. I elect Americans. I'm sick and tired of this party, the Democrats, Republicans. We have a crazy system that's corrupting the United States of America. It's got to stop.
Okay,
Lori
John,
Trahanis
what
has
is
got-
the
it's gotta
American
stop.
answer to
Gotta
the
stop, Lori.
question?
It's got to stop. Knock it
What
off.
is the American answer to the question, do we extend the Affordable Care Act, and how do we fund it?
Repeal it or continue with it. But vote as Americans. Don't vote as a party person.
That makes no sense. What is the American answer?
I vote for the best American for the job. I'm
Yeah.
unenrolled. Regina, you want to read these two?
So for the person who just texted this in, I almost laughed so hard it fell off my chair. I feel bad for her grandkids. This would be Nancy Pelosi, because now she'll be around to spend more time with them. I agree, texter, that was awesome. So the next text is, where does the grocery store lobby stand on the SNAP issue? They're losing government money also, and that is true because you get your SNAP card filled, and you go down to Market Basket or Hannaford, and you spend your money on SNAP. Now, I learned something yesterday, listening to the radio in the car. You can take your SNAP card and you can buy uncooked lobster. You cannot have it steamed. You can buy uncooked lobster, take it home and steam it yourself. I didn't know that. Because the minute you steam it, you cannot use your SNAP card for
It's
it.
prepared food.
Oh, prepared food. Thank you, John. I couldn't figure out why. Thank you,
That's
John.
why you can't go to Santora's and get a large torpedo.
Oh, I'm in the car and I'm stymied. I'm like, why does that make the difference? Thank you. I didn't understand it. Okay, thank you. All right, I get it now.
I don't think they can take home a tabletop pie.
You can?
I don't think they can.
Really?
It's prepared food.
Okay. I'm thinking to myself, all right, so you can take home the live lobster in a bag, but you can't go to the,
I don't know about ice cream. I'll ask Google.
okay, because I said, why can't you, I thought because I was stymied about the whole thing. And I just couldn't figure it out. And a couple of people had called in and said, to the radio show I was listening to, yeah, you can't have your lobster steamed. Isn't that sad? You can't have your lobster steamed. And I'm thinking about, why can't you have the lobster steamed? I couldn't figure it out. But now it's a prepared food. I get it. Okay. Because people were angry about, hey, I can't afford lobster, but I see the people in front of me with the bag with the live lobsters in it, and I'm eating it out of the can. But that was what the caller was saying.
So, the Democrats want the additional monies that Biden gave us during the COVID panic. They want those monies extended forever. But no one has come forward to say how we're going to pay for it. I spent a year as the head of the budget committee for all the U.S. Air Force units in Europe, about a dozen big bases and a whole bunch of little bases. I developed an attitude of, if you come to me with an initiative and you don't have an offset, you're a liar and a thief.
So tell me what an offset means.
How are you going to pay for it?
Okay,
What program
all right.
are you going to
Okay.
cancel to pay for this program
Okay.
that you want me to initiate?
Got it. My issue with what the Democrats want to fund is, to me, a serious one. I do not want health care for illegals. I do want health care for veterans. I want health care for seniors. I want health care for hardworking Americans who do not have health care. That's where I want to spend my money. I do not want to spend my money for transition surgery for minors. I do not want to spend my money for that.
I don't want to.
Those dollars not going to pay for those issues, for those programs. And I hope that Congress holds the line. I hope Republicans hold the line. I don't want to pay for those things. Cliff, what's your thought?
Well, yes, illegals should be given the ticket to go home and let their home country take care of them medically.
Without due process? Without going to court?
Yes, because I'm saying
I heard
they
your
don't
answer.
get any health care benefits here. If they apply, we'll give them a ticket home. We're not forcing them to go home. It's voluntary.
Well, see, I would change it around, and I would say to the illegal aliens, you got your choice here. If you want to go to court, perfect, you can go to court. We won't pay for your trip home. If you want to go home, we'll pay for your trip home today. Your choice. We're not going to fly you back home if you want a court date. We don't have time for that. So make up your mind. You can go home on our dollar right now, or go to court on our dollar, but we're not going to fly you home then.
So there's the case of a 13-year-old boy from Massachusetts who was picked up around the Worcester area. He was picked up outside of school. He was picked up with a very large very large knife. He has been flashing some gang signs, and he had a smaller knife with him also. He was undocumented. He had been arrested multiple times. He was picked up by ICE, and he was sent to a holding facility in another state. Now, he'd been in the holding facility for 2 weeks, and ICE gave this ultimatum. You can go home. You can't go back to your parents. You can go home. And then they offered his parents, you can go home with him. And this is what his parents said. No, we're going to send him home with to live with his aunt and uncle, and we're going to stay here. And the kid got a free trip home. And mom and dad are still here in the U.S. because they felt that it would hurt their asylum status. They didn't really care too much for their son's well-being. They left him to go see you later with his aunt and uncle.
Yeah. As for transitioning, if you're an adult,
Lights off. John, my light's off here. Am I still?
Just grab another microphone, it's Friday.
Okay. Just go ahead, Cliff.
yeah, I mean, I thought
Just turn
it
it on,
was.
Regina, just turn it on its side so I know that one's dead. Good.
I thought it was okay for Christine Jorgensen to make that decision for herself and transition from male to female. But she was an adult, had served in World War II. I figure she's capable of making whatever decision she wants to. But I don't see giving support to transitioning to people that we don't think are capable of voting.
So, Christine Jorgensen was a Olympic tennis champion. Am I correct?
No.
Who was she?
She was just an Army soldier who's the first person to get transition surgery.
Okay.
First American.
So she, and so we're going back a few years. She was an adult in her what, 30s?
20s.
20s, okay. So she had already lived a life. She clearly was able to make some solid decisions. Our brains aren't formed till we're 22, 24 years old. And I agree. I don't think we should be allowing teenagers to transition to another sex until at least they hit 18. And to pay for it before they hit 18, even to allow it before kids hit 18, I don't think we should be allowing it.
This is a life-altering decision.
It sure is.
And not reversible.
Just a minute, children. Lori Trahan, she's probably laying in her bed watching us out in Westford right now, because thanks to Chelmsford Telemedia plays in Westford.
Nice.
So Lori Trahan's sitting up in bed watching us this morning. Lori, what's it going to take to change the law? She's the decision. We can talk about this till we're blue in the face. It makes no difference. She's in charge of the law. Right. Lori, what's it going to take to change this? Why are we letting this sex change go on? Why do we have benefits that are perpetual? Would it be so hard to have? It's not hard. Reapply for your benefits once a year. And until you're 18 years old, sorry, you got to keep your the junk that God gave you. Thank you, Lori. Go back to sleep now.
So we have a benefit called LEHEAP, and it's for people to apply for assistance for their heating bills. And you have to apply for that every year. And community, you apply for it, you go to community teamwork, you apply for it. Community teamwork hires seasonal staff to come in and take people's applications. That's something you've got to apply for every year. And so what John is suggesting is you apply for your benefits the same way every single year. Because you may have had a change in your income.
No, because it's not forever.
It shouldn't be forever.
Right now, it's forever.
Right.
This EBT card I have right here. And I'll show it to you.
Thank you.
I gotta block the girl's name.
I've never seen one.
And this card, come on, this card is still working. It's still fed every single month. I'm sure this gal, if she's still living around here, got a new one. But still, when somebody gave me this card, they said it gets filled every month. This is probably worth $10,000.
Oh my gosh.
Think of all the unprepared lobster you can buy with that.
I don't eat lobster, but I was thinking of, a nice piece of steak. Okay.
You want to give Cliff the mic that's way over there for her phone? I'm not getting her at all. Take the mic that's right there. No. Right there. On the very end, closest to me. There you go. Give that to Cliff. It's Friday.
So those are my two major issues with the funding of this bill. I don't think that we should be funding for people who are not legally here to get insurance, and I just don't think we should be funding children to get life-altering surgery. And I think it's wrong. And I can't believe that anybody in Congress would think that would be acceptable.
Well, there we are.
Well, the system is based on honesty to a general public that likes to tell fairy tales.
So I think we're stuck.
And we listen to the government, and they'll say, well, when a question comes up, they'll say, well, what do you want us to say? Meaning, we're not going to tell the truth about this. Let's make up a fairy tale.
Okay. So there is a judge in Rhode Island who has said, hey, Mr. President, you've got to fill people's SNAP. And the president has said, okay, but the problem is because we have a government shutdown, there's no one to go and fill people's SNAP. So I don't know what you want me to do, which I thought was a great answer. So I think we're at a stalemate right now, and I don't think people's SNAP are going to be filled anytime soon. So we'll see what happens.
Have you seen anywhere where anyone has complimented the president on being able to find the money to fund WIC, the women, infants, and children?
I have not seen anybody compliment him for that. That's a great program. Very good program. I have not seen anybody compliment him at all. I don't think that any of these Democrats are willing to compliment him on anything. Because that would mean.
Well, where's his executive order to pay the air traffic controllers? Where's his executive order to pay all the federal people? Put an executive order out there, pay all the federal people.
Right. Why? And I don't understand
Where is
why he's not doing that.
Where is
Where's
that?
the money?
It's in your pocket.
Yeah, the money's there.
We have the money.
Send the president a check?
He's got the money.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, Cliff, come off it now. If Congress, so where is the money that Congress is supposed to send for SNAP benefits? Where is that money? Physically, right now, where is it?
It's expired.
Oh, look, never mind, Cliff. I withdraw the question. I'll just shut my mic off.
So Cliff has the.
Regina, read this one, please.
Thank you.
This before it expires.
Children are confused due to the fact that they are young and know very little. Convincing them that they are sexually confused is borderline child abuse. Bart, I agree with you. I agree with you completely. Thank you. So let's talk about the women who got 3 women arrested at Market Basket in Tewksbury. 2 because they were stuffing their shirts with very nice cuts of steak, and something I have not seen, but I'm going to have to go and look at. I might not be able to afford it, however, truffle butter. And when you're sizzling your steak, you put truffle butter on it. I'm going to have to go and see if anybody out there knows how much truffle butter costs. Can you text it in? Because I don't think I can afford truffle butter, but they were shoving the truffle butter down their shirts, and they got held up by some employees of Market Basket, and the police came and confiscated all of the food that they had inside their clothing. Then there was the second woman who was intoxicated. She went into Market Basket. She took her cart. She hit one of the employees, knocked them down, I believe. And then she was yelling at some other employees. I think she might have had a couple of Budweisers that afternoon,
Yes.
Cliff. Yeah. So they came and arrested her. Market Basket and Tewksbury had a bad week last week, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah, tough week. I'm not the one on Bridge Street, and they had a great week. In fact, I'm going to be going there today. So, I'm going to, if no one knows the price of the truffle butter, I'm going to go check that out. So when I'm back here in 2 weeks, I'm going to be able to let everybody know how much that costs. Because I'm curious now. They stole truffle butter. I bet it's not cheap.
Never heard of it.
Well, I've seen it. I've just never picked it up. But I'm going to look at it tonight. So, Cliff, you got a good one. The sandwich guy. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
I think he should have been convicted of assault and battery. Go ahead.
So in D.C., the jury found Sean Dunn innocent or not guilty of assaulting an officer. He had a submarine and he threw it at the officer, which apparently didn't go well for Mr. Dunn because he got taken to the ground. But the jury wouldn't convict him for
I consider
assaulting.
I consider it assault and battery.
Yeah, that's true.
I
And I don't think it's good for society for people to disrespect the police.
I agree.
They've got a tough job. There are some rotten apples there, and we need to weed them out. But mostly they're hardworking Americans trying to protect the rest of us.
I think when people decide to become law enforcement officers, they're doing it for an altruistic reason. Yes, there's also other reasons like, hey, I'm going to have a nice pension. But you don't become a police officer because you're thinking of the pension. It's mostly an altruistic reason. Hey, thank you, John. Truffle butter is a versatile ingredient used to elevate a wide range of different dishes, from main courses like steak and roasted chicken to simple sides like mashed potatoes and popcorn. It's commonly used as a finishing touch by melting it over cooked foods or as a spread on toast and sandwiches. It can also be incorporated into sauces, mixed into pasta, or used in baking for a luxurious flavor. All right, now I'm going to have to go to Market Basket and see what the price of truffle butter absolutely is. Thank you, John. I think that...
I got to do the announcements quick.
Okay.
So we're going to go to, I think, this. Okay, here we go. This is pretty cool. Everybody likes these two characters.
Oh, yes.
Anne Marie and Bob Page, they're going to have a gratitude bench dedication today. It's today, the 7th of November. And it's going to be at Mount Vernon Park. It's halfway up the hill on 3rd Street. 160, the GPS address, put into your phone, 169 3rd Street, Lowell, Massachusetts. It's going to be 10 o'clock this morning. Couldn't happen to nicer people. I hope they get a lot of sunshine up there. No wind day. Anne Marie and Bob Page, great stuff.
They are wonderful. I know them both, and I cannot say enough wonderful things about both of them.
Two great Lowellians.
Exactly.
And now the Bridge Club is providing light refreshments too.
Thank you, Bobby Cox. That's very nice of you.
Okay, so today being the 7th, if you go out to the Chelmsford Senior Center, you're going to get baked fish and mashed potatoes. If you go out to the, which one's this is? Drake Senior Center, you're going to get breaded chicken with Marry Me sauce. This is the Senior Center lunch. And they get the same, then we get lovely Lowell, Massachusetts. Lowell is proud to have, this is Tewksbury. Tewksbury the 7th. Breaded chicken, same thing as Drake. Breaded chicken, Marry Me sauce. I wonder what that Marry Me sauce is. You better be careful, boys. You have that Marry Me sauce. And green beans dinner roll, fresh fruit. And then Lowell is proud to have breakfast and lunch 7 days a week at the Senior Center. Pretty cool stuff. And today's the 7th. They're going to have fish sandwich with chowder. Sounds delicious. And then we have a letter from Will Rose. I think that's the last one. Oh, no, we got this guy here, the flag drop-off. If you have a tattered flag, you can go into Lowell City Hall, go in the main entrance, go up the top of the steps there to the first floor, and you'll find this outside the city clerk's office, this flag drop-off box, and you put the flag right in here, and they'll be sure that it's retired professionally. So we got to do, where's Rosenberg's letter? Got to go to...
Thank you, John.
Rosenberg's letter. So Regina's in charge of reading, so I'm going to put this up for Regina. Tell us, I wrote Will Rosenberg, the guy in charge of Lowell elections, about recounts. So Regina, can you read this?
I just read it. Want me to read it again?
Well, that was about an hour ago.
Okay. Good morning, John. All the rumors you mention are wrong. Since starting this job, I am astounded by the amount of misinformation spread throughout the city by your platform and others. I'm in City Hall every day to answer questions, and I check email 24/7. The recount statute is Mass General Law, Chapter 54, Section 135, General Law, Part 1, Title 8, Chapter 54, Section 135. In short, recounts must be requested by a candidate on a petition signed by 10 registered voters in the district who were eligible to vote in the election, and the petition is due by 5 p.m. on the 10th day following the election, November 14th.
And after 6.
It is 6 days for a primary or preliminary. There's no such thing as an automatic recount in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. All recounts are by petition at the precinct level, in towns, ward level, and cities. If the margin is within 0.5% for state office, then it qualifies for a, quote, district-wide recount, which changes the signature formula and allows them to be gathered at large from within the district. This is what happened in the Trahan Co. recount in 2018. Attached is a guide to recounts from the Secretary of State. I strongly suggest you read it. Regards, Will Rosenberry. Thanks, Will.
So back over to you, Cliff. Thank you for your patience.
Okay. So, the market basket thing, and the other thing that went on last week was the guy that stole a car.
Oh,
He got arrested. He got released, and he managed to steal a couple more cars. He got 3 cars in a day,
yes.
and an arrest, and
So-
a release.
And this is the problem with cashless bail, okay? This is the problem with cashless bail. The police,
And no free lawyers.
right, and no free lawyers, because we still have lawyers that are not in courtrooms because the governor, again, refuses to pay them a decent salary. When you can look at the salary paid to defense attorneys in New Hampshire, it's almost $200. And in Massachusetts, it's like $120. And you say to yourself, oh, hey, wait a minute, what's wrong with this? Because New Hampshire pays no one any money at all. And Massachusetts, usually, it's a much higher rate of pay. people, the lawyers in Massachusetts are saying, I'm not working. And as a result, between cashless bail and defense attorneys not working, people are leaving jail, some rapists, people in jail for attempted murder, are leaving because they have no attorney.
How do you think the victims feel?
Victims feel not good. Victims are scared.
So we got the audience up about truffle butter.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for sending us pictures and all this. So, truffle butter is $58.99.
Woo!
And $31 a pound. So,
So Regina not buying any truffle butter.
truffle. Well, it makes you wonder, what is, put it on steak. I never had truffle butter in my life, but hey, it's good to know.
I've been to a fancy restaurant, someone else was paying, and they did serve, they put the butter on the steak as they were grilling it. I didn't know, maybe I gotta make it for myself at home, but not at $58 a pound.
No.
Maybe for my birthday or for Christmas. You know what? That's my Christmas present to myself. Okay. I always get myself a Christmas present.
I got another Christmas present coming in for you right now.
Oh, what is it, John? Show me.
Well, I'll show it to you. This is from somebody in the audience.
Oh. I really appreciate this. Regina, why not run for state senate? You have common sense. So whoever sent that, I truly appreciate it. But I'm going to put it right out there right now. I've known Rodney Elliott for a number of years when he was on the council and I was on the school committee. I consider Rodney Elliott a good friend. But more importantly, Rodney Elliott is currently my state representative, and I got to tell you, my district and this city would have nothing if State Representative Rodney Elliott was not representing us at the State House. And I rely on him to bring stuff home to Lowell. And therefore, I'm going to support him in his bid for State Senate, because I expect the same thing to happen. Bring stuff to Lowell. Bring stuff to Pepperell. Bring stuff to all the 5 communities in this district. And I'm telling you right now, Rodney Elliott will deliver. Okay, that's the extent of my campaigning for Rodney Elliott. But to the person who said that,
Marty Laurie says, great to see Regina.
Hey, Marty, great to see you too. The person who said that, thank you very much. I do appreciate it.
Well, now is the time to decide if you're going to run for the office. My choice is Rodney Elliott. He gets stuff done. The Vanna Howard's tossing her hat into the ring.
Yes.
And the hat will blow away because it has no strength. She's the cowardly lion. Just tell me one thing that she's done.
I'm going to be honest and say to you, I didn't know what she looked like.
Cliff has his fist over there.
So I saw her in the paper. Go ahead, Cliff.
It's been great having you on the show,
Thank you.
and I'm looking forward to you coming back in a
2 weeks.
fortnight.
Yes.
So.
Oh, do you have to go to work?
No, I took the day off.
Oh, I didn't realize you'd taken the day off.
I took the day off because I'm going to go to Drake and Auto and have 2 tires put on and some shocks put on my car.
After you go to the Bob Page thing, or before or after the Page thing?
That is going to be before the Page thing, before the dedication.
Good.
Yes. So we can keep chatting.
Okay.
Hey, Marty, good to see you too. You did a very nice job the other night, Marty. Appreciate your expertise. I also got to say, nice to see the McDonough kid, because he worked his butt off.
You sure did.
Cliff, you want to talk about the people? He worked his butt off. I gotta tell you, he did a nice job. You want to talk about some of the other stuff you've got here on your Cliff?
This is the election results, thanks to
thank you.
Teddy Panos and Company, Lowell Live or whatever the website. What's the website called that he runs?
Low Live.
Lowell Live, okay.
I think so.
Okay, so here we got the 3 top were Gittier, Mercier, and Noon.
Vesna
Vesna knew.
Vesna beat everybody.
Yes.
Then close behind him, like 25 votes
Gittier.
or whatever, was Gittier. And then Rita Mercer came in third.
Yep.
Out of the running is Duhasis and Kaufman. And then the school committee, McFadden and Martin won. Hoey and DeZinko did not. And then Duran won the Belvedere District, District 3, by 5 votes or 4 votes, whatever the math might be. And then over Dan Finn, Wayne Jeunesse was unseated by Sean McDonough.
And John and I met him at my school committee person's party, and he, that's when he first introduced himself, and that kid worked hard.
Sure did.
Oh my goodness, I was so pleased for him.
So Kim Scott won big time against Sherry Barboza. That's for District 5. And District 7, the Acre, Sidney Lang beat Paul Rathiem by like 100 votes. So.
And he was here, we met him when he was here on your show, John.
Yeah.
Yep. So congratulations. And then lastly, John Dakota beat Candido. So that's the election. Anything you want to say about the election? Are you good?
Yeah.
That was,
Go ahead.
Indifference beat civic responsibility with a hammer.
yeah, that is.
Well,
that
I'll
is
tell
true.
both you characters, okay? The golf course. If you look over at the golf course, Long Meadow, Mount Pleasant. I don't care which one you want to talk about. They're both in the city. Not a lot of people over there, is there? Only a certain amount of people like to golf. And we have smart voters. I don't want dumb people voting. I think we had smart people vote. I like it. Leave it alone.
What about paying taxes? Can they use the same attitude towards paying taxes?
The government is here. Cliff, maybe you don't realize, but the government's here to help themselves. They're not here to help you. They'll be helping themselves until the sun burns out. In fact, the governor is trying to get rid of Proposition 2.5.
Oh, that would be not good at all. Not good.
She spent all the money and then she needs more.
Right.
Regina, you need to drag that mic closer to you, please.
Because she would be taking money from middle-class folks who are
She's getting enough.
I know, she's getting more than enough. More than enough.
She got the sales tax too.
John, have you ever worked
I'm
at
sorry,
government?
Patty Kerwin, she reminded me, it's Inside Lowell's what Teddy.
Inside Lowell, thank you.
Sorry. Thanks, Patty.
Can we also talk about Seth Moulton and...
No, I want
and
to get back to,
sorry,
has John
okay.
ever worked in government?
Have I ever worked in government? No, I have not.
Yeah.
I've volunteered for government. Nobody cares.
No, I know that
There's
feeling.
piss poor management, all levels. And it's just people who work in government are not pleased with management. It's mismanaged at every single level.
I've got relatives who've been civil servants.
Are they proud of their supervisors, their managers?
They're proud of their work.
Are they proud of their supervisors, the way the supervisors run things?
I think my father was.
Was your father a supervisor?
He what?
Was your father a supervisor?
Yes.
Okay.
My father set a world record for man-hours worked without a lost time accident for facilities of his size.
Since Vietnam. See, before Vietnam, people who worked at Boeing knew they were building planes to keep America free and keeping the pilots alive. Now it's all about a buck.
No, I
Building a
can't
plane-
argue with you about Boeing. The
It's all about making a buck.
engineers lost control.
And so the same thing in government. It's all about a buck. Now, if you go down to City Hall today, like 5 minutes to 12, just go park your car at 5 minutes to 12 and see, it looks like the building went on fire at noontime. That's dedication, man. Dedication.
But how many hours should they work a week?
Cliff,
40.
What?
40.
How
Okay.
many do they work? 36?
I think it's 35, could be 36.
Cliff will kill you for 1 hour, but most of the people on the planet work 40 hours, at least in the USA, work 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
But no. You know what happens if you work 37 hours? You get overtime.
Really?
In Lowell, everybody else is working 35 hours.
Okay.
Do they punch a clock? I don't think so. It's all on the honor system.
Oh, I punch a clock.
Good.
I have no problem punching the clock.
I don't think the city of Lowell people punch a clock.
Okay.
If the manager ever comes, I'll ask him. But I don't think he's coming.
All right.
So, going back to the election,
Yes.
and we have 3 new city councilors.
Uh-huh.
I'm going back to you, Cliff, on the screen.
Yeah. Do you think this is going to make a difference in who the next mayor is? Do you think the city manager is paying attention, or does he think he's all set with the people he's got?
So let's go to the manager first. I think he's got a 5-year contract, right? So I heard the rumors, as everybody else has, that there is this there's this group coming out of the Coalition for a Better Acre that is trying to change the face of Lowell. And changing the face of Lowell means getting rid of city manager Tom Golden. And they needed to stack the council in order to do that. And Sidney Liang was one of the people that they counted on in helping them to stack the council. And so was Belinda Duran. So, because the more votes they have, the more opportunity for them to get rid of Tommy Golden. That being said, Tommy Golden has a 5-year contract. That means this, and if you want to buy him out, you've got to get enough votes to now vote to buy him out and pay him over $1 million. And I don't think the people of the city of Lowell have the stomach for giving Tommy Golden $1 million golden handshake. And I think that, in theory, it's a great idea to say, let's get the votes to get rid of city manager Golden. But in reality, let's understand something. He started something with a few things, the bridge, a couple other things, and bringing a new manager on right now, probably not the best idea. I think this guy needs to see these projects through. Number one. Number two, as a taxpayer, I would not ever give, and I like Tommy Golden, okay? We grew up together. I'm not giving the guy $1 million check. I want you to come to work every day and work for the money. That's what I want out of Tommy Golden, okay? And I know he comes to work every day, and I know he works for his money. And I want him to see
$1,000 a day.
I want him to see that.
$1,000 a day.
Okay, and you know what? I wish I was getting $1,000 a day, but I'm not.
I would cash the check too, but ridiculous money. He makes more than the governor.
Yes. And John,
The city council did that.
I never begrudge anybody the money they get. Am I jealous? Absolutely. But good for you that you were able to convince a bunch of people to give you that much money, okay? But I want you to go to work every day and do the stuff you told me you were going to do, which is finish that bridge, which is get more housing and fix and hey, finish the sewage issue in the Centerville area where I live. So, Mr. Manager, please go to work every day and get that done. That's what I want from you, and that's what I know you're going to do. So, no, I'm not in favor of you giving you $1 million check and saying goodbye to you. So that little plot from those folks, I'm not into it. So sit in your chairs, hold his feet to the fire, make sure he does his job, but don't ever create a plot where you can get a group of people to buy him out. Because if you think the taxpayers of the city of Lowell are going to feel comfortable about writing Tommy Golden $1 million check to say goodbye, I don't think so. Are you comfortable with that?
No?
No. So keep your plot to yourself, put it in your back pocket, come to the council with a different idea. You know what that idea is? Every Tuesday night, do your job. Do your job. Represent the people in your district. Do not plot. Do your job. That's what I expect from you, okay?
Okay, let's talk about doing the job.
All right, go ahead.
Money.
Yep.
Eileen, how much money has the city not given the school committee?
Eileen,
I wonder what happened to Eileen.
did we lose Eileen?
Eileen.
So this was a issue every year, and it was the maintenance issue. And there is a maintenance issue with schools, and the city owes the schools X amount of dollars for maintenance. And the city used to be able to say, oh, we've unplugged a drain here, okay, we're going to charge you $1,000. Oh, we changed a battery here, we changed a filter here, we charge you $1,000. And they would say, okay, that's maintenance. We don't owe you money because we charged off and we did this maintenance. It's called maintenance of effort. Really? It costs you $1,000 to change that battery? I don't think so. So that's the fight between the city and the school department. And when we get Eileen back, she'll be able to tell us exactly how much the city owes the school department in terms of maintenance of effort. And I think that, yeah, we want the city to be writing that check to the school department. Because that money goes to having another paraprofessional in the classroom. That money goes to beefing up the library. That money goes to maybe getting another instructor in a chemistry class. So that maintenance of effort, we're not just sitting on it and doing nothing. That maintenance of effort is very important to the school department. You just can't tell me that you unclogged a drain for $1,000. That I'm not buying it. And I think that the city does owe the school department some money. And the superintendent needs to be figuring out what the bill is and fighting for it. Alerting the school committee, this is what the city owes us, and saying, how are we going to get this money from the city for our maintenance of effort? Is Eileen back with us yet?
Apparently not.
Okay, so I think that's an issue, and I think that the city manager and the superintendent need to figure out what that maintenance of effort looks like, and it needs to come to us.
Yep. We have little issues like, are we doing enough for special education?
Absolutely.
I think we're doing better than Drake but are we doing well enough for our students?
Right. Are we
That's a
doing well
problem.
enough? Absolutely. Are we doing well enough?
Yeah.
Are we doing enough? That's the issue. Are we doing enough for children who, I've seen students, if you give students the services they need, you get them over that hump, go through high school, go to college, and become very successful. But you got to give students those services, Cliff.
Yep.
Right?
I think the most important thing is getting the students to do the work. My motto has always been, you got to do enough to move on to the next level.
Right.
I graduated in the bottom half of my high school class, but I was able to go to the next level.
Right.
And but the
Cliff, you're brilliant. How did you graduate? Because you didn't put in the effort. That's why you graduated the bottom half of the class.
no, I put
Oh,
in
my
the effort.
goodness. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm never going to understand that one. Can we,
Only when I went for my master's degree,
that's when I smartened
then I
up
got
too.
all A's.
Right. Can we talk about Markey and Moulton?
Sure.
Markey's been there a long time.
I did want to say one thing
Tell me.
about schools. We bought our house from a couple, she was on the school committee.
Mariana Sullivan, wonderful school committee woman, absolutely.
My impression was they left town to get better schooling for their
That's
kids.
exactly why they left town.
And she was on the school committee.
She had a daughter, her oldest daughter, who was also brilliant. And the school she was in could not provide her with the education necessary to get her to the next level. So what they suggested was, hey, why don't you skip a grade? Mariana didn't want that. Mariana wanted them to give her more work, bring in a skilled individual to help her, to provide her, hey, why don't we start giving her chemistry? Why don't we start giving her this while still being in that grade? The school couldn't figure out how to do that because they could only figure out how to do special ed the other way. None of the state reps vote in our best interest in the State House. Okay. Regina, it looks like...
Wait. The State House is a slave ship. Everybody rose according to the Speaker of the House and the Senate President. And when we get on to Markey, we'll remember that Markey was not exactly playing by the rules set down by the Senate President. They moved his desk into the hallway.
Oh, I love it. We'll have to talk about that in a minute. So it says, Regina, it looks like you can buy slices of truffle butter at Walmart for under $3, according to my noologist Google. All right, hey, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to have to take a little trip today. Spot on, Regina, from Jeannie Balkus regarding the plot against Manager Golden. So I heard about this the other day, and then I talked to a few people, and I am told that Manager Golden is very aware of it. He's going to go to work every day and do his job. And that's what I know of him. And I want the people who've now been newly elected to the city council, go to work and do your job. That's what I'm expecting of you. I don't want you to go to work thinking about, how can I get rid of the manager? How can I undercut him? Because that's not why the people of your district elected you. The people of your district elected you to fix the problems in their district.
Regina, people would go along with you.
Yeah.
But Manager Golden has enough seasoning now where he could do a much better job. But hiring your friends has got to stop. We got to hire qualified people to do the jobs. You got to fire people who don't do the job.
I agree.
And in Lowell, we have city councilors, families who are getting jobs just because they're a city councilor.
I agree. So
And that's been going on for generations. This isn't anything new.
That's before even Golden was there. So I'll give you an example. The other night I'm at my neighborhood meeting in Centerville, and the people who run 311 were there explaining it. And the guy who's the head of IT, and I don't remember his name.
Fernando?
Yes. So he gave a presentation, and I sat there, and I was in awe of the guy, and I actually said to myself, I don't know who hired him, but he's probably the best hire at City Hall. Because the guy was fabulous. He could explain this, explain the problems, how we're going to fix them, explain the benefits of 311. The three people he had with them knew 311 in and out.
Virginia, his mortal sin is he let the computers get hacked at City Hall.
It was, I mean, they were, yeah, okay.
That was his mortal sin. It
Okay.
ain't gonna go away. You can say he's sharp as a tack. I'm sorry.
I agree, Regina. It's hard to believe BRD was in top of his class in high school. Great show today, Bart. Thank you, Bart.
Hey, it was a lot better than elementary school.
Okay, what happened in elementary school?
I passed the grades on probation.
Oh, mother of God, help us. Oh, my goodness. We got 5 minutes. What do you two want to talk about in
You
our
wanted
last
to
five?
talk about Mark Key.
Yeah, I think Marky gotta go. I'm not sure Moulton is the guy, but I think it's time for Marky to go. How long has he been there? 40 years?
No.
How long? Tell me?
I think about as long as I've been in the state, about 30 years.
Okay. I think Marky has got to go. What is he? How old is he? And not because of his age.
He's like 78 or so.
Because of
I
his-
wrote it down here.
Because, I'm gonna take a paraphrase from John. What has he done lately? Marky.
Absolutely. I don't know what Ed Markey's done. I've never been a fan of his, but it's just the political. When it came time for him to become the senator,
Yes?
he was instantly the senator. Democratic Party is very powerful, and you got to respect that. The Republicans have no machine.
Right.
And until they invest in getting a machine, they're always going to lose in Massachusetts.
So this person said, I do not believe that the CBA was organizing a plot to get rid of the city manager. And Texter, you could be very correct. It could be a completely false rumor. I heard it the other day, and so I
think Socialists Against Government are one of those crazy organizations. The drain downs from the public entities. They want to get rid of Golden. And to me, I'd rather ride Golden for the 5 years.
I would too. Make
And,
him work for his money, because I'm not giving him $1 million check.
Well, we're already giving him $1,000 a day, but remind him every single week, Tommy, you made $5,000 this week.
Yep.
What did you do for your money? And you got to
Thank
put the guy in this spot. And it is a fact, he does not have to go to the city council meetings. But just ask him once a month, Tommy, for the $30,000 we gave you this month, what did you do to earn it? Ask him.
Okay, and you know something? The councilors who don't like him, then ask him.
I hold no emotion for the guy.
Ask what he did.
If
Ask
somebody
what he
goes
did.
over you, if somebody goes to your house and says, "Look, Regina, you need a new roof. It's $100,000." $100,000. Explain to me why is that $100,000? Wouldn't you ask?
Yes, I would ask. Absolutely.
Way overpaid.
Yes.
What did you do
Oh,
for your
oh.
money?
So here's the deal. I never, ever, because I'm a true capitalist at heart, I never argue, I never discount anybody's worth. And I tell my students, when you go get a job, never discount what you are worth. You are going to help somebody make money. So don't ever discount what you are worth when you go get a job, okay? And if you can get someone to give you more money than you ever expected, good for you. Good for you. I appreciate every dime I am paid. I appreciate it every time I get a check. I appreciate it. Would I like to be getting Tommy Golden's money? Absolutely. Do I begrudge him? No. Because listen,
Regina.
he asked for it and somebody said yes. Yes?
Okay, Ed Markey, 79.
Okay?
Seth Moulton's 46.
Okay?
Somebody ranked him and said Ed Markey's a progressive, Seth Moulton's center-left. Ed Markey is Green New Deal, healthcare, climate change. Seth Moulton is cost of living, generational change, and healthcare.
Back to local stuff. There were efforts to elect new councilors in order to affect the election of the mayor.
Of the mayor. Okay, that's interesting. So
And then we
who?
got on Monday. We got Cliff Krieger's going to be here, Eileen Delrossi, Fru Neckenbeg, and Mike Smith. And I'm going to leave this up for the rest of the show. Put you guys back up for a second. Time is short, Regina.
All right.
Actually, we're off now. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Eileen, I'm turning the phone off. There she goes.
So good job, Cliff.